Hello everyone, this is Darshini, and in this video we are going to be talking about how to train your brain to live in the present moment. Make sure that you watch this video completely because I think this is one of the most important videos that I've created. By the end of this video, you would have learned the benefits of training your brain to be in the present moment and the practical tools that you need to be able to get those benefits. So, let's get started. If you observe carefully, you can see that in today's world, most of us are spending our time thinking either about what happened in the past or what is going to happen in the future. Most people wouldn't even notice this pattern because of being very busy in this fast-paced world. But if you take a few minutes a day to observe your thoughts, you would realize that most of it are about the past or planning for the future. But this thinking about the future is a never-ending cycle. If you use the present to think about the future, and when the future arrives, you think about the future ahead, then when will you live in the present? If you always think about the past or the future, your head will always be filled with thoughts. This way, the efficiency of the work that you're doing in the present gets reduced and unnecessary anxiety will be created. Thinking about the past or the future are the qualities of the mind. The mind dominantly thinks about the past or the future. When we are spending our present to either think about the past or the future, we are not living in the present moment to the fullest. Because our full attention is not on what is happening right in front of us. It is definitely important to plan for the future, but that should be done at a set period of time instead of letting the thoughts of planning for the future interfere into your every moment of the day, or even the dominant part of your day. When planning, you should plan, and while executing, there should be no second thought or any thinking about what might happen if I do this or what might happen in the future. Actually, if you think, when do you execute a plan more efficiently? Does it happen when you just have a perfectly crafted plan, or when you overcome the small excuses your mind creates when it's actually time to do the real work? To me, a plan is definitely helpful. But overcoming the small excuses the mind comes up with when it's time to execute is the dominant factor that decides whether a work gets done. To catch your mind giving you excuses to not do a work now, you have got to be present. Otherwise, you might just give in and slip into the automatic mode of trusting the excuses created by your mind. And if you ask, what about the past? I would say that there is no point thinking about the past. Past is already over and nothing can be changed. The only thing that is in our hands is to see what can be done next. If you ask, don't we have to analyze our past to be better in the future? My answer would be, focus on what you want and see who you need to become to achieve those. Look at your present. Who are you now and what do you want for your future? And become a person who would naturally have all those that you want. The reason that I highly recommend not to spend too much time analyzing the past is because the more you focus on the problem, the more you might feel bad about yourself and be problem oriented. But if you're someone who spots a problem and immediately finds a solution and acts on it, then in this case, it is okay to analyze the past. But if you're someone who looks at your past and says, why am I like this? Why can't I be better? Why do I always keep doing this, even if I don't want to? etc., etc. All these things put you into a negative cycle. So, the best thing to do is to look at your present, focus on what you want, and mold yourself to who you choose to become. And whoever you choose to become, only when you're present, you can do your best. So, it is necessary to train your brain to live in the present moment. Now, let's look at why you need to train your brain to be in the present moment and what are the benefits that you will get if you could successfully do it. Number 1, it helps in increasing your receiving potential. Now, what is receiving potential? Receiving potential is your potential to receive answers from the universe. All the right thoughts, ideas, inspiration, solutions to any problems, and answers to all the questions, everything is already there in the universe. But the answer will be sent to you in the present. If you always keep thinking about the past or the future, that is, if you're always in your mind, then you won't be able to have your full attention on the present. Only when you have your full attention on the present and when you're open to receiving, you will have the characteristics which are required to receive. All the answers that you want are always being sent to you. It depends on how good your receiving potential is to be able to truly listen to the answers. If you think, how is it possible for all the answers to be in the universe but you are not able to receive it? Then think of it this way. There is a lot of money in this world, but how much money each person makes depends on each person's receiving potential. That is, the skill each one has to make money. Same way, all the answers that you might need are already there in the universe. But how much answers you can receive depends on how present you are and how still your mind is. In other words, the skill required to receive answers from the universe is your presence of mind. And number 2, it enhances the quality of your life and gives you the ability to see the extraordinary in the ordinary days of your life. When you're fully present, it means that you're giving your full attention to whichever task that you might be doing. When you give your full attention to even the most mundane tasks, the task won't feel like a waste of time or irritating. A sense of peace and stillness can be felt when you give your full attention to something. Let's take the example of washing the dishes. Most probably, nobody in this world might like this task. But instead of dreading this task, you can take it as an opportunity to create stillness in the monotony of the task. No thinking about the past or the future. Only focus on the task right in front of you. This might seem funny when you hear it for the first time, but just try it out for yourself. No thoughts, still your mind, and just focus on the task before you. That's it. Observe how you feel when you do this. Once you experience how it feels, you will naturally want to bring this quality to all the tasks of your life. Now let's take an easier example of focusing while eating. Don't look at your phone or any devices while you're eating. Just look at your plate and with every mouth that you're eating, just close your eyes and feel the taste of the food. In this way, even the most ordinary food will feel blissful. You don't need any big or expensive things to enhance the quality of your life. It is only your state of being that determines your quality of life. So, if you want to enhance the quality of your life, live life moment to moment. And number three is that it gets easier to get into a flow state. Now, when does a flow state occur? If you observe the times when you're in a flow state, you can clearly feel that you're completely immersed into the moment. And every single minute you're in that flow state, you are completely present, that not even a thought from a past or future can disturb you. It is a state of getting lost in the process, in the good sense, of course. And any work that you do will be so effortless and so joyous. Also, when you work in a flow state, your energy level will be retained and be stable. Whenever you work in a flow state, you will be able to work hours in a row and feel re-energized and rejuvenated once you're done and even during the process. You will also be able to observe that you have the same energy or most probably more energy than you had in the morning before you started work. And number four, it gives you more peace and satisfaction in life. Only when you live in the present, you can feel that sense of peace. When you're too focused on the past or the future, peace cannot be found. And now, let's look at what are the practical ideas and exercises that you can do to get these benefits. So basically, it is the how-to for training your brain to be in the present most of the time. Number one is to focus on your breath. Breathing is something that takes place moment after moment. And we can focus or observe only the breath we take in the current moment. We cannot focus on the breath that we took in the previous moment or the one that we are going to take in the next moment. So by focusing on your breath, you're shifting your attention from the past or the future to the present. It is not only that you should focus on your breath, you can also focus on the sounds that you hear, focus on whatever you see in the moment, etc. Basically, the idea here is that the exercise should have the ability to shift the attention from the past or the future to the present. See, this focusing on your breath exercise is just to give you a concrete way to train your brain to live in the present. Training your brain to live in the present is as simple as just giving your 100% attention to every single thing that you do. But for a beginner who wants to shift from living in the mind, which is about the past or the future, it is difficult to follow. So, this is just a simple exercise to practice and follow, which can help you make the transition to the present to be able to easily train your brain. I think the reason behind why people don't practice focusing on their breath is because they don't see the meaning behind why they should focus on their breath. Even I used to think, why should one focus on their breath? What's even the point of it? You might think that I could have just Googled it, but nowadays I'm just trying my best not to Google the questions that I have and just wait for the answers to come from within. So recently one day, when I was totally calm and relaxed, this realization dawned upon me that the purpose of focusing on the breath is to bring us back to the present moment. I was actually wondering about this question of why people focus on their breath the previous day of getting this realization. So probably the question should have been in the back of my head, and when I was completely in the moment, I got my answer. Another thing that I observed is that I get a lot of realizations and ideas a few minutes after I focus on my breath. With these experiences, I understood that being in the present moment is a state of being where receiving power is more. So, As we already spoke about, the thing is that the ideas have always been in the universe. It's about whether we are in the right state of being to be able to receive and understand these ideas. And another thing that is really important to keep in your mind is that don't keep expecting and looking for answers whenever you focus on your breath. Just set the intention or just ask your questions to the higher power you believe in and just let it go. After getting a few realizations and ideas after focusing on my breath, I started expecting my answers to come that way. And the ideas started reducing when my expectation increased. But only when I had just set the intention and fully let go is when I would receive my answers. So, the lesson here is that the more you expect something, the less easily it comes to you. Here, the purpose of training your brain to be in the present moment is to increase your receiving potential and not a strategy to get immediate answers. It's like strengthening your muscles. If you want your muscles to be stronger, you just have to exercise consistently. If you keep your expectations too high and keep looking constantly whether your muscle has grown or not, you will soon tend to give up. But if you focus on your exercise, the muscle will slowly strengthen day by day, and one day when you look at it, it would be very strong. If you just think when you have got the results that you wanted, most probably it would be when you did your work and let it go, and not when you were desperately expecting it. See, life takes miraculous ways to send your answers to you. So, don't expect it to come in only the ways that you want it to. And number 2, let go of the things that keep your mind cluttered. The more you let go, the more space you create in your mind. The more empty your mind is, the more open and present you would be to receive the answers that come from within. And number 3 is to try something new. When you do something that you have never done before, it forces your brain to focus on the present completely. Make it a habit to try something new regularly to train your brain to be in the present. And number 4, increase the time of doing the activities that easily keeps you fully present. If you ask how to know which activities will easily keep you present, most probably it is the activities that you enjoy, the activities that you look forward to. Make sure that those activities are not for entertainment or for escaping your daily life. In summary, one of the main reasons why you don't feel satisfied or happy with life is majorly because you're not in the moment. Just try yourself. Choose a particular hour and decide that you will focus 100% on the task right in front of you and think of nothing else. You will see how even the most ordinary task or an everyday task can feel so good and lively when you give your full attention to it. If you could just give your full attention to any task that you take up, it will radically change the quality of your life. It's not about what you do that makes you feel good. It's about how much involved you are in the task. And your involvement is based on what percent of your attention is on it. Do one thing at a time and give your complete attention. If you could just do this, this could be one of the most valuable assets that you have ever created for your life. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I genuinely hope that this video was helpful. Hit the like button if you like this video and subscribe to this channel if you choose to improve the quality of your life and achieve your goals smoothly. And see you in the next video.